All right, now that you've got your Smart U all fully set up and it's ready to use, you've got your green light solid, you've got your SenseSteam on, you've got your 4-speed fan on, you're ready to go. Always, before you start using your Laurastar, just give it a burst of steam away from the garments or the board, just to get rid of any moisture that may be stuck in the pipe. So when hot steam hits a cold pipe, it has a little bit of condensation. Okay, right now we're in blowing mode and SenseSteam mode. So just to explain the features on the handle. So here, you've got your fan button, okay? Blowing, suction, depending on what you're ironing. I'm going to show you that one by garment by garment. So to change direction, it's now in suction, it's now in blowing. So it's not a suction or blowing button, it's a reverse button. So it changes direction according to how you press it, okay? The steam buttons on either side, you can press them at any time, left or right, but this machine, as you know, has SenseSteam, which means it senses forward motion and steams as you move forward. Okay, as you move forward it steams, as you move back it doesn't steam, because that's the correct way to iron with a Laurastar. Okay, so you can vertically iron with all Laurastar machines. So let's show you this garment here. You've got your suit jacket. So touch the garment as you're removing the steam. As you're removing the steam. As you're removing the creases is what I meant to say. All the creases are gone, creases are still here. Now, if you want to go one step further and iron that on the board, this is where the active board kicks in, all right? So sit it on the board. If you're not happy with the result and you want to iron it a bit further, activate the blowing feature and the garment is lifted and you've got a cushion. By ironing on a cushion of air, you prevent unwanted creases and you also prevent pressure marks and seam marks, all right? Now, being a dark material, you should be using a Teflon shoe, but I'm just showing you quickly how it works. No pressure marks, no seam marks, and what you've done on one side comes through on the other side. So the whole idea of the blowing feature or the cushion of air is to prevent unwanted creases and to prevent pressure marks or seam marks. Now you see I'm not pressing the buttons. It's on SenseSteam, it's doing it all for me, okay? Bear in mind that SenseSteam is a little bit sensitive, so when you put it back down, it will give it a little burst of steam. That's normal, okay? So don't worry about that, all right? So that's how you do the jacket on a cushion of air. Here we are again, and we're going to show you how to use the blowing feature on a blouse where you don't want any creases. So use the blowing feature to puff the garment up with steam, back dry, up with steam, back dry. Remember, the SenseSteam does that for you, okay? You see how it stretches the garment for me and prevents any unwanted creases? That's what you're using the blowing feature for. The blowing feature is when you don't want a crease. Now, when we get to the gathers, I'm actually going to change the direction of the fan to suction. Sucking the garment down, I'm going to lift this off the board and I'm going to steam where the gathers are. And you see that? We've managed to remove the creases where the gathers are without having to press it there. So I'm going to show you also on the sleeve how the steam pressure does the job effectively when you don't want a crease. Spray the steam up the sleeve. I've closed the cuff. Have a look at that. This is for garments where you don't want a crease. Use the steam pressure to do the work for you. Instead of ironing on top of it, just use the steam. Okay, now we're going to show you how to do the business shirt or any sort of cotton shirt. A lot of people have trouble with this. It's because you don't have the right tool. Now you do. Okay, so to do the back of the shirt, you want to inflate the garment. So puff the garment up. If it's not in inflation already, press that button. So that's suction. That will change it from suction to blowing instantly. Okay. Now we're on SenseSteam. Up with steam, back dry. Up with steam, back dry. As you're moving forward, it senses forward motion and steams for you. Okay, it just steams as it needs it, and then when you come back, it's dry. So when you don't want a crease, cushion of air. When you do want a crease, suction. I'm going to show you on a different part of the shirt. So now I'm going to put it on the front side. Now if I have it on blowing here, look what happens. It blows it off the board. It's not ideal. Change it to suction. Suction holds the garment down for me, and I don't have to worry about it moving around. So up with steam, back dry. Up with steam, back dry. It does it quickly and easily. Have a look at that. It's nice and dry and it's ready to be worn. Okay? So, golden rule with the fan. Blowing when you don't want a crease, suction when you do want to crease, okay? You've got full control here on this button here, and you've got your steam buttons there if you need some extra steam when you're using your SenseSteam. All right, now we're going to show you how to iron a pair of jeans with your new Smart U. So, do we use suction or do we use blowing feature for this at the moment? We prefer to use the suction feature because you want the steam to be drawn through the multiple layers. So it's in suction mode, it's in SenseSteam, up with steam, back dry, up with steam, back dry. Now what you'll see, if you have a look under here, I'm just going to remove this, have a look underneath the board. You can see the fan, see the steam coming out from underneath? Can you see it? That's how effective the suction is at drawing the steam through the material. So I'm going to do this again just to show you. Now at any time, if you're ironing and you're not getting enough steam because of the SenseSteam function, you can press the button at any time and get some extra steam. So up with steam, back dry. Up with steam, back dry. And always dry the garment off. Now what I've done on this side has come through on the other side. So you can see all the creases are gone. Okay, so that's the benefit of the suction feature. It allows you to go through multiple layers. So when you want to go through multiple layers, or you want to put a sharp crease in something, you would use the suction feature. I'm going to show you in a pair of trousers. So the Laurastar Smart U does not have a temperature dial, as you can see here, because you don't need it. This is your temperature control, the Teflon coated sole plate, which you put on and off as required. So without the Teflon shoe, you've got full heat for your cotton, linen, denim. With your Teflon shoe, you've got it for your dark materials, anything delicate that can't handle the heat. So to attach the Teflon shoe is really simple. Put the nose in first, and as you push down the back, you'll hear a click. All right, if it doesn't click, just give that little bit of a push and it sits in. Now when you use the Teflon shoe, give it 2 to 3 minutes for it to acclimatize. So cold metal, hot iron, a little bit of moisture can build up, so give it about 2 or 3 minutes before you start ironing, and that'll prevent any moisture from coming out when you're ironing. Now, let me show you on a pair of trousers when we would use the Teflon shoe. Okay, so the blowing feature to prevent an unwanted crease. Now, I've turned the fan down, but I'm going to turn it up a little bit, so I've got a little bit more strength, and I can get a bigger cushion of air. So when you don't want a crease, cushion of air, double protection system. Teflon shoe, fan. That'll prevent any shine or pressure marks. Let me show you. Have a look at that. No pressure mark, no seam mark, because you're ironing on a cushion of air. And you've got your Teflon shoe to prevent the shine, okay? No need to put a wet cloth down like my mum used to say. Now, the trousers. Let me show you, do the trouser leg. You will need to use both the blowing feature and the suction feature. Sit that on the board. One leg at a time, makes it a little bit easier. Okay. Now, to do the inner leg, I want the blowing feature because I want the garment to be lifted so I don't get any crease on the other side. I'm going to put it back on SenseSteam. So as I move forward, it steams. As I move back, it doesn't steam. So up with steam, back dry. Up with steam, back dry. Now, by ironing on a cushion of air, as I said it a few times, you don't get any unwanted pressure marks, you don't get a shiny seam mark, and what you've done on this side has come through on the other side. So when you don't want a crease, remember, blowing feature. Now I want to finish the trouser leg. I'm going to change the direction of the fan. Once again, press the button. Suction. It's now sucking the garment down for me. It's holding it in position. Up with steam. I just do this slowly so I get a nice sharp crease. And back dry. Now come in close so you can see that crease that I've created here. Have a look at that. That's professional, dry cleaner quality crease at home. Look at that, okay? So the golden rule when you're ironing trousers, blowing feature around the pockets and the seam, suction feature when you want to put in the crease. I'm going to show you a few other garments where you would use the Teflon shoe. Something delicate such as this, a silk scarf, a silk tie, often they're mixed with nylon and polyester, and as a result you can damage it. So this is your insurance policy. When you're not sure, put the Teflon shoe on. If you don't remember what it's made from or you can't see the tag, put the Teflon shoe on, all right? And that'll prevent any scorching or burning, okay? So I'm going to put this on the board. I'm using the suction feature, as you can see. Why? The suction feature holds it on the board for me, okay? I'm just ironing that quick and easy. Get rid of the creases, but also no pressure marks, no seam marks. just to remove the creases. Up with steam, back dry, up with steam, back dry. And if you need a bit more steam, press the button and you'll get that extra steam. I'm using the suction feature because the suction feature holds the garment on the board for me, okay? And one last thing I want to show you is the dreaded transfers, okay? Difficult to iron, don't iron, inside out, don't wear them. You don't have to worry about it anymore. Inflate the garment, go to blowing feature because you're doing two sides of the garment. You're doing the front side, you're doing the back side. Now have a look at that. I'm ironing on a cushion of air. I've got the Teflon shoe on. I can't burn, I can't scorch, and it organises the fabric for me. So whatever I'm doing on this side, if I'm moving sideways, I won't get any steam with the SenseSteam. So I just press that. Press the steam when you need some steam, button, and you've got your garment done on that side, and the creases removed on that side as well.